everyone, welcome back to GK Today. I am Sana and in this video we'll cover the current affairs. Before we move ahead, let me inform you that these questions are part of our daily 20 MCQ series 2022 in the GK Today's Android application. So if you are looking for the text version of these questions and their explanations along with the interactive quiz, you may consider joining our daily 20 MCQ series in the GK Today Android application. In this course in app, you get daily 20 MCQs, a fortnightly quiz, a monthly revision document, and also category-wise revision e-books that are optimized for reading on mobile. You are also able to access all archives of questions from January 2020 onwards. And let me tell you one more thing. If you want the Hindi version of this session, you can refer to our former channel named as GK Today. The link has been given in the description box from where you can reach to. So without taking much of your time, let's get started.
Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 13th of August 2022. Let's start. Manisha Kalyan, who was seen in the news recently, is associated with which sport? So Manisha Kalyan and Sunil Chhetri were named the AIFF Women's and the Men's Footballer of the Year respectively. Okay. So national captain Sunil Chhetri is the third highest goal scorer among the active international players, and Manisha had won the Women's Emerging Footballer of the Year for last session. Okay, so she is related to football. Okay, you can also be asked that who's the Men's Footballer of the Year according to AIFF. Answer would be Sunil Chhetri. Next is, when is the World Biofuel Day celebrated? So World Biofuel Day is celebrated annually on 10th of August to highlight the importance of the biofuel. So on this day, in the year 1893, German inventor Sir Rudolf Diesel successfully operated his diesel engine on the peanut oil. Actually, biofuels are produced from animal waste, algae, industrial and agricultural waste, etc. So unlike fossil fuels, they are produced in a short amount of time and are liquid or gaseous. So they are environment friendly, renewable and biodegradable. So Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas and the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change started celebrating the World Biofuel Day after 2015. Why? To recognize its importance. Okay, so don't forget that World Biofuel Day is celebrated every year on 10th of August. Next is, which country won the gold medal in the open section of the 44th Chess Olympiad? So Uzbekistan team has won the gold medal, while Armenia won the silver medal and India has won the bronze medal. Okay, and here we are talking about the open section of 44th Chess Olympiad. Venue for this event was Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Okay, so in the women's section, Ukraine won the gold, Georgia won the silver and India won the bronze. Fine. Next is, which company developed the second generation ethanol plant which was recently inaugurated? So Prime Minister Narendra Modi dedicated the second generation ethanol plant in Panipat, Haryana recently. And this 2G biofuel plant has been set up to boost the production and the usage of biofuels in the country. So this ethanol plant has been developed by Indian Oil Corporation Limited at an estimated cost of over 900 crore rupees. So this plant utilizes about 2 lakh tons of the rice straw annually to generate around 3 crore liters of ethanol annually. Fine. So this is the company IOCL. Next is, which tennis player won 23 Grand Slam singles title, which is the most of any woman in the open era? So American tennis legend Serena Williams has announced that she will retire from professional tennis at the age of 40 years. and she won her first major title at the 1999 US Open when she was just 17. So since then, she won 23 Grand Slam singles title, which is the most of any woman in the Open era, and she won her last Slam title at the 2017 Australian Open when she was 8 weeks pregnant as well. So she has 73 WTA titles overall and 14 major doubles title with sister Venus Williams. Okay, so she is in news because recently she has announced her retirement. Okay, so this is Serena Williams. Next is, when is the International Day of the World's Indigenous Peoples observed? So every year 9th of August commemorates the International Day of the World's Indigenous People to raise the awareness of the needs of these population groups, including their health needs. So this day was chosen in recognition of the first meeting of United Nations Working Group on Indigenous Population that was held in Geneva in the year 1982. So there are an estimated 476 million indigenous peoples in the world living across 90 countries. Fine. So we observe this day on 9th of August. Next is, after the recent political turnaround in Bihar, who sworn in as the Chief Minister of the state? So Bihar Chief Minister formally announced that the alliance between JDU and BJP has broken off, and he has now joined hands with the opposition Rashtriya Janata Dal. So after exiting the NDA alliance, Nitish Kumar was sworn in as the Chief Minister of Bihar for the 8th time in 22 years. And who's the Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar? This is Tejashwi Yadav from Rashtriya Janata Dal. Okay. So who's the Chief Minister? Nitish Kumar. And who's the Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar? Tejashwi Yadav. Okay. You have to tell me who's the new Chief Minister of Maharashtra state. And also don't forget to mention the name of Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Next is, which two states signed a joint statement to resolve the decades-old boundary dispute? So Mizoram and Assam have signed a joint statement in a ministerial level discussion to resolve the decades-old boundary dispute. So in this statement, they propose to hold the meetings of deputy commissioners of the bordering districts at least once in 2 months. And Mizoram and Assam will hold the chief minister level talks in New Delhi shortly to find a solution to the interstate border dispute as well. Okay, so which are these two states, Mizoram and Assam? Next is, exercise Vajra Prahar 2022 is a military exercise between India and which other country? So India and the US commenced a military exercise named as Vajra Prahar in Himachal Pradesh's Baklo district to improve interoperability between their special forces. Okay, so 13th edition of this exercise commenced at the Special Forces Training School in Baklo as per the Indian Army. Okay, so two things are important. Vajra Prahar is the exercise between which two countries, India and USA, and what is the venue for this year? It is Himachal Pradesh, Baklo. Okay. Next is, the foundation stone of Indo-Israel Center of Excellence for Vegetables was laid in which state or the Union Territory? So the Union Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Mr. Narendra Singh Tomar, laid the foundation stone of the Indo-Israel Center of Excellence for Vegetables in Chandauli in the state of Uttar Pradesh. So Chandauli district is also known as the Rice Bowl of Uttar Pradesh, and it is suitable for setting up the Center of Excellence for the vegetables due to its climatic condition. So there are 9 agroclimatic zones in the state that are favorable for cultivation of various type of horticulture crops throughout the year. Okay, so this center would be set up in Uttar Pradesh. Next is Rudy Koertzen, who recently passed away, was associated with which sport? So the former South African cricket umpire who was the part of International Cricket Council's elite panel as well has recently passed away at the age of 73 years. So he was the part of ICC's elite panel of umpires for 8 years total from 2002 and officiated in 331 international matches. So after retiring as an international umpire in 2010, he published a book named as Slow Death, Memoirs of the Cricket Umpire, and he was also called by a nickname called Slow Death. Fine. So here correct answer would be cricket. So you can also be asked that Slow Death is a book of which important personality that was in news these days. Answer would be Rudy Koertzen. Next is, which state implemented the extension of panchayat rights in scheduled areas, that is PISA rule 2022. So Chhattisgarh government has implemented the extension of panchayat rights in scheduled areas on the World Tribal Day. And with the implementation of this act, 50% of the members of the Gram Sabha will be from the tribal community, and out of this 50%, 25% will be women members. So the state government enacted the rules under a central act to protect the interest of tribals and enhance the power of Gram Sabhas. Okay, so this is the initiative of Chhattisgarh government. Fine. So these were the most important current affairs and the news from today. And now we'll move to our revision section. Today we'll be covering which 3 categories. First of all, we'll see some of the important ministries that were in news. Then we'll see some of the important and recent appointments. And after that, we'll see some of the important Grand Prixes. Okay. So first of all, we'll come to our ministries current affairs. Ministry of Culture launched an initiative, India Ki Udan, along with which company? So Union Ministry of Culture has launched this India Ki Udan initiative along with Google. Why? To celebrate the spirit of India and its achievement in the past 75 years under Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Okay, and recently it started in New Delhi. Which union ministry launched the Badhiye Chalo campaign? So this is the initiative of Union Culture Ministry, and it was held across 10 cities from 5th of August to 12th of August, and objective was to connect the youth of nation and to install a sense of patriotism among them for greater outreach of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Okay, so only thing you have to remember is Badhiye Chalo campaign is an initiative of Union Culture Ministry. Which union ministry launched the Grand Onion Challenge? This is associated with Ministry of Consumer Affairs. So under this, the ministry seeks the ideas from professors or professionals or different field experts for improving the pre-harvesting techniques, primary processing, storage and transportation of the post-harvested onions in the country. Fine. So Ministry of Consumer Affairs is related to this challenge. Which union ministry implements the Hamari Dharohar scheme? This scheme is related to Ministry of Minority Affairs, and objective is to preserve the rich heritage of minorities community in India. And do remember that preservation of minority heritage building has not been undertaken so far under this scheme. Okay. NEST is an autonomous institution working under which union ministry? First of all, what is the full form of NEST? National Education Society for Tribal Students. Okay. So this is an autonomous institution that works under Union Ministry of Tribal Affairs. And why it was in news? Because recently NEST and CBSE, that is Central Board of Secondary Education, have collaborated with the Tata Trust to launch experiential learning for 21st century program for 21st century, especially for EMRS principals and teachers. What is this? Eklavya Model Residential School. Okay. So two things are important only. what is the full form of NEST and which ministry is related to NEST. The Udyam registration portal is associated with which ministry? It is related to Ministry of MSME, and MSME ministry has launched this portal in the year 2020. So recently it has been found that nearly 1 crore MSMEs have been registered on this portal till now, and due to this MSME has employed 7.6 crore people in the country, among which 1.7 crore are women. Fine. Next we'll see some of the recent appointment. Who has been appointed as the Chief Justice of India after Chief Justice N.V. Raman? So our new Chief Justice of India is Uday Umesh Lalit. Okay, and you have to tell me Uday Umesh Lalit is the Chief Justice of India at which number, or you can say at which place. Suresh N. Patel was appointed as the head of which institution recently? So he has been appointed as the head of Central Vigilance Commission recently. Ahmed Nawaf Al-Ahmed Al-Sabah has been appointed as the Prime Minister of which country? So he is the new Prime Minister of the country Kuwait. You have to tell me he has replaced whom? Which Indian economist has been appointed the Chief Economist of the World Bank? This is Indermeet Gill. Who has been appointed as the interim CEO of National Land Management Corporation, that is NLMC? Answer would be Mr. Sanjay Kumar Jain. Who has been appointed as the BCCI Ethics Officer and Ombudsman? This is Vineet Saran. Who has been recently appointed as the Managing Director and the CEO of the National Stock Exchange? Answer would be Mr. Ashish Kumar Chauhan. Okay, so these are some of the important appointments that can be asked in your exams. Now we'll revise important Grand Prixes. Which racing driver won the 2022 Hungarian Grand Prix title? Recently it was won by Max Verstappen, second was Lewis Hamilton, third was George Russell. Which racing driver won the French Grand Prix 2022? This is exactly same like this. Winner is Max Verstappen, second was Lewis Hamilton, and third was George Russell. Which racing driver won the Austrian Grand Prix 2022 title? It was won by Charles Leclerc, second was Max Verstappen, and third was Lewis Hamilton. Which racing driver won the British Grand Prix 2022? It was won by Carlos Sainz. Which racing driver won the 2022 Canadian Grand Prix? It was won by Max Verstappen, second was Carlos Sainz, third was Lewis Hamilton. Which racing driver won the Azerbaijan Formula 1 Grand Prix title in 2022? So it was won by Max Verstappen. Which racing driver won the Monaco Grand Prix title? Answer would be Sergio Perez, second was Carlos Sainz, and third was Max Verstappen. Which racing driver won the Spanish Grand Prix title in 2022? It was won by Max Verstappen. Now talking about their countries, Max Verstappen is from Netherlands, Lewis Hamilton belongs to Greater Britain, George Russell is from Britain, then next is Charles Leclerc, he is from Monaco. After that, Carlos Sainz is from Spain, and rest is same I think. Sergio Perez is from Mexico. Okay. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nuzhat Sana signing off.